everybody. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Kimberly Lim, and today I'm going to inform my audience, which is you guys, on which culture I identify with and why I identify with this culture the most. We hear the term culture all the time, but what exactly is a culture, or what does it mean? Well, according to the Merriam Dictionary, culture is defined as the customary beliefs, social forms, and material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. One of the largest influences on Western culture is the ancient Greek civilization, so it has retained a lot of its similar values. As for norms, Western culture values independence and tends to promote individualism. An important symbol that, in my opinion, represents Western culture is the American flag, because it represents freedom, justice, and democracy. So I was born in the United States and have lived in California my whole entire life. So I believe the culture that identifies with me the most is Western culture, and I'm going to explain why. One of the largest influencers on Western culture is the ancient Greek civilization, so it has retained a lot of its similar values, as I said earlier. In the year 507 BC, the Athenian leader Cleisthenes introduced a system of political reforms that he called democratia, meaning rule by the people. It was the first known democracy in the world. Democracy is still one of the most important values in Western culture today. Democracy is a system of government in which laws, policies, leadership, and anything major thing of the state are directly or indirectly decided by the people themselves. Democracy ensures its citizens a broader range of personal freedoms than any other form of government. Democracy provides people with a maximum opportunity to take moral responsibility for their choices and decisions about government policies. I relate to this because I believe democracy is very important in order to keep things running smoothly at that. Everyone should always have a say when it comes to their own rights. In like manner, as norms go, Western culture values independence and tend to provide individualism, and they're big on human rights. People who identify with Western culture as individualist cultures tend to believe that independence, competition, and personal achievements are important to surviving or being successful. The Western construct of human rights is based on the principle of absolute innate rights that are awarded to all individual human beings and do not have to be earned. Similarly, the symbols of Western culture represent the idea of independence as well. An important symbol that, in my opinion, represents Western culture is the American flag, because it represents freedom, justice, and democracy. The American flag was created in 1777. The red in the flag symbolizes hardiness and valor. The white symbolizes purity and innocence. And the blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Due to its representation, I think the flag is a perfect symbol for Western culture. To wrap everything up, let's go over what we talked about. So the Western culture is a huge melting pot of several societies, and I feel the same way about myself, and that's why I identify with it the most. One of the largest influencers on Western culture is the ancient Greek civilization, so it has retained a lot of similar values that were created long ago. As for norms, Western culture value independence and tend to promote individualism. That means everybody works hard for themselves. An important symbol that, in my opinion, represents Western culture is the American flag, because it represents freedom, justice, and democracy. And like we said, democracy is one of the biggest things in Western culture. Many Westerners, including myself, take pride in having their own unique identities, and that's what makes us all unique. Thank you for everybody listening, and let me show you my symbol real quick. So here I have pictures of the American flag. Zoom in, and it has the red, the white, the blue, and of course the famous stars. Alright, thank you everybody. Have a good night.